Hopefully my voice is going to hold up better today than it did yesterday. I'm not going to lie. Yesterday was a struggle. I woke up yesterday morning, thought I was feeling better. I thought I was going to be fine. But the longer I talked, the harder and harder it was on my voice. Hopefully that's not going to be the case today. Now, even though the mainstream media makes it seem that the majority of Americans are card-carrying members of Woke United Methodist, there is only a small segment of the population who identifies as an identifier. The numbers vary depending on your source, but it's pretty safe to say between 10-20% of the country worships the oak tree on Sunday morning. Now, of that 10-20%, how many of them do you think truly believe in what they're promoting? How many of them actually believe men can get pregnant? How many of them really think America's filled with mythical racism? How many truly believe allowing a child to transition is in the best interest of the child? Now, I know Dwayne Wade and his husband Gabe believe that last one, but what percentage of Woke United Methodists devours the tossed salad they're serving in the Fellowship Hall of Bongos? My guess is less than 5%. The majority of these people are paid propagandists. Bomani Jones, paid propagandist. Bomani Jones, he's a smart dude, very intelligent. He gladly promotes myths and fantasies so he can continue collecting woke welfare. Otherwise, he would be homeless. If they paid him based on his audience numbers, both ESPN and HBO, they would be sending Bomani Jones an invoice every 2 weeks. Joy Reid, paid propagandist, Chris Cuomo, Shay Shay and Skippy Bebe, Donnie and his Lemons, Elle Duncan, Malika Andrews, the list goes on and on. Now, there are a few dumbasses that completely buy in. Keith Olbermann, the bitter virgin. Mike Freeman from USA Today, better known as the Star Trek virgin. There are a few others who enjoy taking every inch of the supersized cucumber, but the vast majority of these shit fucks, they don't believe their own propaganda. I have been telling you guys for 2 years that Stephen A. Smith is the world's highest paid parrot. Several times I have referenced a video that I made last summer about Stephen A. Smith. It shows sort of a timeline of his history from being a common sense thinker. Hell, at one point around 2015, 2016, Stephen A. Smith, he was trying to convince black people to vote Republican. But the video I'm talking about, it shows him going from common sense to prepping his bongo with the baby squash in anticipation of one day being able to take the cucumber. And now he has reached the pinnacle of success by having the capability to enjoy a nice woke wiener. Once ESPN upped the woke welfare to $12 million a year, Stephen A. Smith went from giving his honest opinion to becoming an actor on a television show. The Stephen A. Smith that we see on Woke Take every morning, I don't know if that's the real Stephen A. Smith. Don't take my word for it. You know, KC always comes with the proof. While I was uploading my second video last night, I had Fox News on my TV in the background. I heard Jesse Waters advertise Stephen A. Smith as the next guest. Stephen A.'s making the media rounds promoting his new podcast. As expected, he is promoting his new platform as an inclusive platform. I want this to be a safe space for everyone to share their ideas. While waiting for them to come back from commercial break, I got to wondering, which Stephen A. are we about to see? Are we going to see the real Stephen A. Smith, or are we going to see the manufactured version who spends 5 days every week begging to be accepted by the butt brigaders? To be honest with you, this dude has become so good at being a chameleon, it's hard to tell the difference anymore. Stephen A., he seems to cater his beliefs to his surroundings. If he's sitting next to Ryan Clark, it's mythical racism, evil white man. The NFL is modern day slavery. If he's sitting next to Jesse Waters, he begins violating multiple woke commandments. I'm going to share a few clips with you, and you guys can be the judge. Who is the real Stephen A. Smith? The guy on Woke Take, or this guy on Fox News? The conversation starts off with a discussion about the rising crime in major cities across America. All of these cities, they have one thing in common. They're being run by shit fucks. Now you would think Stephen A. Smith would have sort of a soft stance on the crime issue. One of the many requirements for a lifetime pass to ESPN's Woke Hug brothel is shitting on police and the criminal justice system while pushing for criminals to just be let free. Cops are not the answer. We must understand why criminals commit crime. For example, that guy is stealing wieners from the grocery store because his bongos become too wide for the cucumber. How does Stephen A. Smith feel about rising crime? Watch for yourself.
There is no question that we should be against an extremely progressive agenda that's calling for people to be released from prison on multiple occasions, that's ignoring a lot of crime that's taking place in the streets. There is no doubt about that. Where I don't vibe with you, Jesse Waters, who I respect, is that when you talk about politicians themselves being innocent, they're not innocent in all of this. A matter of fact, in some instances, the division that exists and has existed for so long has contributed to kind of some of the nonsense that's been taking place in the streets.
I don't remember Jesse Waters ever saying that politicians are innocent. Matter of fact, these shitfuck politicians, they are the reason crime is surging in major cities. So I don't know what the hell Stephen A. was talking about there, but did you catch the violation of the woke commandments? Not only did Stephen A. Smith warn of this progressive movement, which is coded language for the woke movement, but he also mentioned the division in America contributing to rising crime rates. The division in America. Now there's no doubt politicians have amplified this perceived racial division in the country, but where did a lot of that recent racial division start? After George Floyd died, who was on ESPN consistently talking about mythical racism? Who was on ESPN claiming the NFL is biased against black people? 2 weeks ago, who was on ESPN claiming the Celtics would not have exposed Ime Udoka if he were a white dude? The truth is, Stephen A. Smith, he is one of the most racially divisive people in the mainstream media. Everything gets spun into a racial issue. A white criminal approaches two women on the street. One of them's white, the other's black. Criminal decides to assault the white woman. Stephen A. claims it's mythical racism. This is a clear case of mythical racism. This criminal doesn't think black women are pretty. The conversation then shifted to California and the governor that causes moisture and woke panties across America, Gavin Newsom. Rachel Levine goes into a state of confusion when he sees Gavin Newsom. I don't know if I'm supposed to get a chub or a towel to clean the moisture. It is so difficult being a dual-gender birthing person. Check out what Stephen A. had to say about Gavin Newsom and the homelessness in California.
I was in LA, the homelessness that exists there. I got an issue with that. Certainly, when you look at Gavin Newsom and some of the policies that he's put forth, you're talking about a lot of different things that need to be addressed. I don't agree with everything, and I'm not about to pretend that I do.
Okay. I mean, I agree with him here, but again, I'm confused. I don't agree with everything, and I'm not going to pretend that I do. This is not the same dude that we see on ESPN every morning. On ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, he's the first in line in the cafeteria for Woke Wiener Wednesday. The issue does not matter. Abortion, mythical racism, mythical misogyny. He follows the percussion leader on every issue. But on Fox News, he vaguely hints that the policies of Gavin Newsom have led California into a state of disaster. For the first 3, maybe 4 minutes of this interview, Stephen A. Smith was making a lot of sense, for the most part anyway. But when the topic moved to Kamala Harris, Stephen A. grabbed his paddle and he started making his way through the woke waters. Stephen A. Smith defended his woke sister. Oh, he tried his best to defend her. I told you guys this man was good. He has the ability to shift from common sense to shit fuckery in a matter of seconds. Watch it for yourself.
You are a highly intelligent and accomplished woman. Will you tell us what you truly, truly think instead of giggling all the daggone time? Every time somebody asks you a question, she can bring a lot if she had, as far as I'm concerned, I believe, if she had the freedom to truly, truly speak her mind and be as raw and as authentic as she wants to be. I think she's been encouraged not to. I think as a result, be trying to disguise what you truly feel, you get caught. If she ain't Jesse Waters, she ain't Stephen A. Smith, she ain't gonna just say what the hell she feels. She's going to say what they want her to parrot. And as a result of that, she finds herself, I think, looking worse than she actually is on many occasions.
What? What? Did you just say Kamala Harris is highly intelligent? Kamala Harris? Really? You expect me to believe that Joe Biden is holding back the intelligence of Kamala Harris? Joe Biden can't recognize intelligence. How in the fuck is he going to hold it back? Every time this woman opens her mouth, the farts stink up the room. Of course the administration doesn't want her talking. Every time she does, the odor burns nose hairs and people are begging for the return of COVID masks. I understand why Stephen A. has a soft spot for cackling Kamala. Just last week, she said hurricane relief in Florida should be an equity-based decision. Translation, we should give all that money to black people. I'm sure Stephen A. Smith agrees 100% with that assessment. I wish Jesse Waters would have asked him about how Kamala Harris got this job to begin with, vice president, because it wasn't based on her qualifications. She has none. This woman is not qualified to serve Brian Stelter donuts. She's not qualified to be a janitor. Kamala Harris sees a broom, she thinks it's her mode of transportation. She was given this job as vice president based on her race and gender. Kamala Harris is a prime example of affirmative action in practice. Now, I do want to give Stephen A. Smith a little bit of credit here. I doubt it was an easy decision for him to go on Fox News. I know it's not his first appearance, but I'm sure he caught a lot of shit for this. After seeing this interview, shitfucks, they may kick Stephen A. Smith out of the bongo band. He might be stuck playing the flute at the next Bongo Festival. Obviously, I had to condense the interview for copyright reasons, and I may still get hit with a copyright strike, although Fox is generally pretty good about approving these clips. But for the most part, Stephen A., he was talking common sense with Jesse Waters. If I were the one interviewing him, I would have pressed him on mythical racism. I would have pressed him on a lot of these myths and fantasies that he promotes. This was essentially a softball interview by Jesse Waters, which is fine. I mean, they didn't have a lot of time. But coming out of this interview, I had the same question I had going in. Who is the real Stephen A. Smith? Is he the common sense or the somewhat common sense thinker we saw on Fox News? Or is the real Stephen A. Smith the purveyor of mythical racism we see on ESPN? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.